This is Creative Minds Radio.
I don't have any sisters and brothers, and I'm alone in the house. So I have three things to help me: the cat, and the books, and the music. So still now, music helps me to write. You know, to write is a very solitude. You have to work alone when you're writing. So I need some things to help me to keep on writing. So music is one of them.
This is Creative Minds Radio. You are live with Creative Minds Radio.
That meadow scene is the first thing that comes back to me. The smell of the grass, the faint chill of the wind, the line of the hills, the barking of a dog. These are the first things, and they come with absolute clarity. I feel as if I can reach out and trace them with a fingertip. And yet, as clear as the scene may be, no one is in it. No one. Naoko is not there, and neither am I. Where could we have disappeared to? How could such a thing have happened? Everything that seemed so important back then, Naoko, and the self I was then, and the world I had then, where could they have all gone?
When I was 29 years old, I went to the baseball park in Tokyo to see the game. April 1st in the afternoon. I was watching the game. All of a sudden, I got the idea that I could write. It's simple, 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 it's simple.
This is Creative Minds Radio.
It's been some 10 years since I first had the idea of a book about running, but the years went by with me trying out one approach after another, never actually settling down to write it. Running is sort of a vague theme to begin with, and I found it hard to figure out exactly what I should say about it. At a certain point, though, I decided that I should just write honestly about what I think and feel about running, and stick to my own style. I figured that was the only way to get going, and I started writing the book, bit by bit, in the summer of 2005, finishing it in the fall of 2006. Somerset Maugham once wrote that in each shave lies a philosophy. I couldn't agree more. No matter how mundane some action might appear, keep at it long enough and it becomes a contemplative, even meditative act. As a writer then, and as a runner, I don't find that writing and publishing a book of my own personal thoughts about running makes me stray too far off my usual path. Perhaps I'm just too painstaking a type of person, but I can't grasp much of anything without putting down my thoughts in writing, so I had to actually get my hands working and write these words. Otherwise, I'd never know what running means to me.
You are live with Creative Minds Radio.
He has a talent to really go down to unconscious with but clear mind. That is very important, you know. You can really watch what is going on in his unconscious, but it's Japanese unconscious in a sense. You know, he's a representative, so his story is connected with Japanese culture or Japanese situation nowadays.
Sometimes there's an element of what you might be able to call mysticism in his work. I'm a specialist in American literature, so I always tend to think of the difference between American literature and Japanese literature. And in American literature these days is almost 100% realistic. You know, you can't write about anything that couldn't happen in the world, you know. Japanese younger novelists are more comfortable moving between everyday world and the some world which you can say mysterious.
This is Creative Minds Radio. This is Creative Minds Radio.
As long as I stared at the clock, at least the world remained in motion. Not a very consequential world, but in motion nonetheless. And as long as I knew the world was still in motion, I knew I existed. Not a very consequential existence, but an existence nonetheless. The car interior was fitted out to the hilt. You might expect this in a limousine, as the taste of most so-called luxury accessories is questionable, and this one was no exception. Still, I couldn't help being impressed. In the middle of my sofa-like seat was a cheap push-button telephone, next to which were arranged a silver cigarette case, a lighter, an ashtray. Molded into the back of the driver's seat was a small folding desk. The air conditioning was unobtrusive and natural, the carpeting sumptuous. Before I knew it, the limo was in motion, like a washtub gliding over a sea of mercury. The sum of money sunk into this baby must have been staggering. "Shall I put on some music?" asked the chauffeur. "Something relaxing, maybe." "Very good, sir." The chauffeur reached down below his seat, selected a cassette tape, and touched a switch in the dashboard. A peaceful cello sonata seemed to flow out of nowhere. Those were the days of the doors, the stones, the birds, deep purple and moody blues. The air was alive, even as everything seemed poised on the verge of collapse, waiting for a push. She and I would trade books, talk endlessly, drink cheap whiskey, engage in unremarkable sex. You know, the stuff of every day. Meanwhile, the curtain was creaking down on the shambles of the 60s. I forget her name. I could pull out the obituary, but what difference would it make now? I've forgotten her name.
I just wanted to listen to the music. I thought of myself as a kind of a hermit in the wonderland of jazz. So that was my 20s. I was in a kind of a limbo. Most customers thought of me as peculiar.
He's a silent type.
He's a silent type. I wasn't interested in real people.
In those days.
That's the kind of thing that happens when I write a book. If. You can go down that passage and find new rooms. New strange rooms.
New strange rooms. That's the beginning of the stories.
In those rooms I can